Well, hello my YouTube friend. Today it is my pleasure to present you this wicked cool knife coming directly from Mr. Anthony Marfione, collaboration with Master Deryk Munroe. This full copper SIGIL with the Senmai Hattori Kaori Damascus blade. So, a little bit of history behind this knife, as always, I like that. While contemplating the knife, a little bit of history, and then after that, a small review of the knife. You saw me failing a little bit because before even starting the video, the detent is great, good, I would say, great tendency to be great, but not perfect. I mean, you won't break it, that's for sure. But the action, you can fail it, you see. Of course, I'm doing my best to fail it. Okay, now if you just flick it naturally, it will go. Oh, that set aside, a little bit of history behind that knife. So as you know, before going any further about the detent, don't forget something. This is not a pure flipper, okay? This is why the detent, to me, is set absolutely perfectly. Why? Because you want to open it with the flipper, but you want to use the ramp also to deploy it with the index or any fingers or with the thumb. And if you had a stronger detent than that, that would be impossible. So for me, that is the perfect set, the perfect detent for that kind of knife. Again, that set aside, a little bit of history behind that. So, as you might know if you follow me, and again, let's do some, what the heck is that? Let's do some nice images and focus on that knife. If you follow me on Instagram or YouTube, you might remember that my story with the SIGIL started, I would say, a year ago, when I bought a knife from a guy in the community. At that time, the secondary market on those knives were crazy, like over $3,000 for a SIGIL MK3. And I received the package empty. No insurance, nothing, etc. So the loss was 100% on me. Not complaining about that, but it's just the way it is when you receive knife internationally. Hopefully, luckily, I had only a couple of issues with the years of trading with the US. Anyhow, over 3,000 loss on SIGIL. Then after that, Deryk Munroe told me that he would make me a knife, but he's a busy man, and he will do. Actually, it's almost finished, I know. So I know that I will have, as a replacement, not a replacement, but as a kind gesture, he accepted to me to make a knife for me. Of course, I won't get me back my money, but what the heck? I mean, if you lose the money and the knife, that's the worst thing that can happen, and this is actually what happened to me. So, in order to have a SIGIL, because the wait was long, I decided to buy a copper SIGIL, and you must have my video about it, and I must have said some words about that history in that video. So I received that SIGIL, that collaboration, full copper, that I bought at a crazy secondary price at that time also. And when I got it, the lock was totally stick. No, it was off-centered, okay, and with some stickness on the lock. So Anthony told me to send him back the knife. I did. Long story short, when I received it, the lock was failing, so I knew that I was doomed at that time with the SIGILs. So for the second time, I sent him back the knife because of the lock fail, and he said he would make it up to me, and it was 7 months ago. Yeah. Those are just facts. So for me, SIGIL and me is a bad history. So today I get back the knife, and when I open the box, what do I see? First of all, before going any further, what do I see? SIGIL, first of all, so I see first that he upgraded me because the previous one was mirror polish. So for that, thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate it. But then after that, I saw that number. You see, serial number 13. So I knew I was kind of really stressed before even opening the package because I don't know, either it's lucky 13 or it's bad luck, as it can be, but I'm no I don't have that kind of consideration, but that was funny actually to start with that opening with the number 13. So when I opened it, I was really happy actually. I love mirror polish, don't get me wrong, and I was expecting to have a mirror polish, but this is even better. And thank you really so much, not only for the upgrade of the value, I would say, but because actually the finish, I don't know why the lighting is so bright, the finish actually is way more appropriate, I would say, with the copper that has this patina, you know, in really black and dark patina that will get darker in time. That's just how it is coming out from the factory, you know, dark patina. So it's way more appropriate, I would say, because I had two in hand, so now I can compare. Way more appropriate to get a darker blade like this one. And this Senmai here is just absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to talk about the knife a little bit, but I have a review actually about this one. So I might be a little bit faster on the review of the knife itself. So let's start now with this one. As you can see, so that's the collaboration, yeah, with Deryk Munroe that does, you know, those SIGIL. At that time when they did a collaboration, it was the MK3. So this is more of the model of the more the design and the finish, I would say, of the MK3, especially this piece that is the over-travel inlay that you don't find anymore, actually not with this kind of finish on the MK4. And the milling is different on the MK4 compared to the MK3. So the contouring on the knife is just, I love it. Fantastic. Of course, those are machine-made, a lot of control on the grind, I'm sure, by human, but this is machine, but hell, it's so well done. I mean, and copper finish to me is something great. I mean, I wouldn't put that on most of my knives, you know, on all my knives, but it's a great finish. And the patina is, I'm going to try to focus on this one, but it's absolutely perfectly done. Coming out from the factory, I've never seen such a nice patina like that. So yeah, a lot of contouring, usual hardware from Marfione. Not the best thing if you want to, I would say, I was going to say tamper with the knife, but just if you want to tighten the pivot is a mess. You cannot do that if you don't have the tool, but it gives a really nice look. On the back, I really appreciate on this one, the new badge that he did, the fact that he put a copper backspacer. Very nice. And there are the writings, but you know, they're barely, you can barely see them, you know, because it's copper and you have already the patina on it. So very nice backspacer with this hole for a lanyard, and a lot of drilling, meaning, I mean, look at this backspacer. I mean, it's just insanely well done. Absolutely insanely well done. Then on the other side, sorry about that. So the same, of course, and you have this subframe lock. Of course, the subframe lock is Marfione doing. I mean, Deryk Munroe does a simple frame lock. This is a subframe lock. I mean, Deryk couldn't do actually a full copper because the you know, that copper is soft and it's not a good material for the lock, of course. So this finish actually, it's only doable, I would say, if you intend to put either a liner lock or a subframe lock as this one. So this is a subframe lock, as all actually SIGIL from Marfione are actually, you know, and I really like it. Not going back to any controversy, but to me, if history serves well, I would say that it's Tony Marfione that invented the subframe lock, which is, as you know, a lock actually that is, I mean, screwed here on the scale, and it's interchangeable. So if you have any kind of problem, a lock failing with your knife, you just have to change this piece, which is kind of coming in handy sometimes, rather than changing the full scale. Don't know what happened. The only thing that I don't like, probably the anodization is not really, I mean, it gives too much of a contrast. I would have gone for another anodization, but really it's just not really an issue, you know, because of the Senmai here, the here bronze and orange, it's kind of too much popping of colors, but whatever, it's not that bad. The only thing that I don't like, and I've said that on the previous video, is the clip. The clip for me is just a great design because it's flush and it doesn't tamper, you know, I mean, you don't have hot spot when you grab the knife, but It serves absolutely, depending on the fabric, I would say. On a jean that has a kind of thick fabric, this clip doesn't serve any purpose because this is the angle that you're gonna have. You see, so when you put it on your jean, and maybe I should try to show you that. Okay, what the heck? Let's do it. So if you put it on the jean, I'm gonna try to focus on this one. Okay, focus here. So you see, it's on the jean here, and the fabric is not that big. Okay. But look at that. I mean, if I just, you see, there is absolutely no resistance, and it goes with the angle of the clip. It doesn't even touch the fabric here, you know. So you need to have a really thin fabric in order to have any kind of retention. This provides absolutely no retention on the fabric. But whatever. I mean, that's the only con on this knife. The rest is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. Already 11 minutes. I have to go faster. What more can I say on the frame? Nothing more. The action, I told you about that. To me, that's the perfect detent. Nice flipping action, and it's smooth as hell when you want to deploy it with the thumb, with the index. And I think that, you know, I'm not really. Usually I'm never able to flip with my middle finger, but this one I can do it. You know what? Let's try even with the fourth. But let me see. Ah, really, that's incredible. I mean, 99.9% of my knife, I wouldn't open it with the middle. On this one, not only with the middle I got it, but even with the fourth, that's the first time, and literally the first time I even try to do that. So you see that detent, this nice hole on the blade, nice groove on the blade, makes it for a very nice and fun way to fondle and to play with your knife. So now I want to talk about the blade. The grind on those SIGIL is just fantastic, and I don't remember the other one actually. I would have to go back to my video, but there is something that is, I mean, that blows my mind is the dramatic hollow grind that you have on the swedge. The swedge seems to be a little bigger than the previous one. I don't think that it is. Maybe it's the Senmai that does this effect. I don't know. But really, you have such a dramatic hollow grind, and you see here on the spine how intense it is. And then after that, you have the bird's eye, which is absolutely beautifully done. Just great grind. And this Senmai Hattori Kori is just, I mean, one of the most beautiful Senmai you see. And you have this kind of triple finish with the rounds that you have on the flat part, you know, the round that you see, this pattern that you have. It's perfectly aligned. On the contrary to some Senmai like the Armor Core or whatever, usually, you know, I mean, it's not as well aligned as this one, so it can have some, you know, some random pattern. This one won't be random, you know. You will have those holes here. Then after that, when you're gonna have the hollow, when you're gonna have the line, you're gonna have those kind of waves. And then after that, of course, you're gonna have only the core when you will be at the thinner part of the Senmai. And that is, as I told you, very even on both sides, which is just, to me, just fantastic. Love again the Senmai over travel on this one. The lock was a little bit sticky, but you know, I just played with it a little bit, and now it's way better, as you can see. The engagement is perfect, I would say. For me, it's perfect. It's like 50%, which is what I want to have on the subframe lock like this one. When it was too early, it was failing. So I'd rather have a lock like that. To me, it's perfect. What more can I say? You know what? We are now already heading to the 15 minutes, and I just want to say thank you to Marfione. Whatever happened was not. I mean, he was not responsible for that, and he did great by not only changing me the knife, but upgrading me the finish. And all the story behind that was, again, not his doing or Deryk Munroe's doing. So I'm pretty happy now to have my first SIGIL, and hopefully I will have also the custom made by Deryk anytime soon. So with that being said, my friend, I will leave it at that and catch you very soon for another video. I will leave it at the bird's eye before leaving, the centering that I haven't talked about. Look at that. Perfectly centered at this very nice bird's eye here. 15 minutes. Bye-bye, my friend. It was a pleasure.